The Ventura County Fire Department is an all-hazard, full-service agency with more than 500 men and women. We proudly provide fire protection, medical aid, rescue, hazardous materials response, and a variety of other services to the public. Our response area covers 848 square miles. With a diverse terrain of urban centers, coastline, farmlands, and wildlands, we serve more than 480,000 people in the unincorporated areas of Ventura County, as well as the cities of Thousand Oaks, Simi Valley, Moore Park, Camarillo, Port Hueneme, and Ojai. Formed as a special district in 1928, the Ventura County Board of Supervisors acts as the fire district's board of directors. These 5 elected supervisors appoint the fire chief and task him with providing fire protection services for the district. This includes supervisors Steve Bennett, Linda Parks, Kathy Long, Peter Foy, John Saragoza, and County Executive Officer Michael Powers. This is the Ventura County Fire Department's 2015 annual report.
The Ventura County Fire Department has a long history of preparing our community for whatever comes their way. 2015 was an unusual year because of El Nino. We knew it was coming along with our wildfires, so we spent a lot of time and energy making sure our community and all of its members were prepared. I'm standing here in the Solomar Beach community, and on Christmas Day we had the largest fire in Ventura County for 2015. It burnt from over the 101 freeway and impacted the community of Solomar Beach. Shortly after the fire, we had significant El Nino rains. When we put the call out for help on December 25th, Christmas Day, for the Solomar fire, Southern California stood up and came to help us. Fire agencies from San Luis Obispo down to Orange County came to Ventura County to help us. We do the same thing. When the call for help goes out to fight a wildfire, we send our resources out in strike teams, whether they're our regular Type 1 large engines you see every day, or even our brush engines, or our hand crew, or our bulldozers. My job as fire chief is to make sure that really our county is protected more than anything else. So anytime we send resources outside of our county, we always have sufficient resources to protect our community here. One of the big values that we get is actually the experience and training that our firefighters get, going out and getting that experience on very complex fires. And they bring that experience back here to Ventura County, where they can put it to work when we have similar incidents. In December 2015, we actually had a great event, and it was called Sandbag Saturday. And we actually joined forces with a variety of community partners and government partners, all to help prepare the community. And what we did was, in just a little over 2 hours, we handed out 25,000 sandbags in 2 locations across the county. Community preparedness doesn't just come from the fire department. It comes from so many other agencies that are involved, especially with El Nino this year. That really required a lot of advanced planning with OES and Public Works and law enforcement to develop plans in advance of any emergencies.
The fire district responds to about 40,000 emergency calls a year. There's 10 cities. Of those 10, 6 of them, the County Fire Protection District provides emergency services, fire services, and 4 of them we partner with. And all the unincorporated areas of the rest of the 2,200 square miles of Ventura County, we provide direct protection to those areas. We have 32 fire stations geographically located in the county of Ventura. So the practical implementation of emergency service to Ventura County comes out of Emergency Services Bureau. Our Fire Communications Center, it processes about 78,000 calls a year for the whole county. Some of our goals are get to the urban areas within 8.5 minutes, and in the rural areas in about 12.5 minutes. And we meet those goals like 95% of the time, depending on the metrics. In that less than 8.5 minutes it takes for us on the average to get from that phone call to that house, in that time there is care instructions and there's comfort instructions given from that public safety dispatcher to the caller. 4 years ago, we ran about 33,000 calls. 3 years ago, we ran about 35,000 calls. 2 years ago, we ran 37,000 calls. Last year, it was 40,000 calls. So you can see the number of incidents and emergency responses have gone up exponentially each year. But if you were to look at the number of line injuries, we've reduced our line injuries as the number of calls have gone up. We have 40,000 opportunities to put our people in harm's way. Our safety numbers are showing that our people are not getting as hurt as often as they were 5 years ago, and yet we had less call volume 5 years ago. 70% of our calls for emergency service are medical in nature. The amount of time we spend on fires is exponentially larger than a medical call. The higher risk is going to be typically in our fire hazard, chemical release, explosion type of calls. There is a lot of time spent that our firefighters spend that are non-medical related calls, even though the volume of our medical calls are high. We had 208 wildfires last year, and of those 208 wildfires, we had 6 that were over 10 acres. We want to keep the wildland fires at 10 acres or less 95% of the time. We are keeping our numbers within the goals that we have as far as suppressing wildfires, and our numbers on home loss are very impressive. We lose very few structures through fire in this county. The aviation program for Ventura County really is run by the sheriff, but Ventura County Fire Protection District supports it because we see a direct need and a direct value to having water dropping helicopters during wildfires and rescuing people that might be up on a cliff. We provide staffing down there. We provide a fire captain, paramedics, a pilot, and we pay for a mechanic. And really it's a fire chief and a sheriff coming together, recognizing good government means sharing resources at times. This year was unique in the fact that we gave so much. And when we see firefighters getting engaged with blood drives, getting engaged with building bikes for needy kids, getting engaged with handing out gifts and giving all they have to the community, not just their day-to-day service, but going that extra mile. That shows a heart of compassion. I'm impressed and proud to serve as the Emergency Services Bureau Chief.
Generally, when you see our firefighters, they're either working an emergency, they're doing an inspection, they're doing something that serves you and protects our citizens. What you don't see is the amount of training that it takes to be able to go out and perform that. On average, each of our line-assigned personnel trains over 500 hours a year in the many different aspects of our jobs, including firefighting, emergency medical services, technical rescues, hazardous materials, administrative policies, human resource. We have a very well-rounded training program so that our personnel are able to deliver outstanding service. We happen to be standing at our regional training center. I mention regional because this training center is here for all the departments in our operational area. We also open up this area for all of our cooperators to come and use our props, our firefighting tools to train their personnel. During our 51st Academy, we implemented a new training philosophy called Crawl, Walk, Run. This approach of Crawl, Walk, Run is being applied to all aspects of our training. From the beginning, first day as a new firefighter recruit, to promotional processes, we are running an engineer academy, to captain's academies. We're applying this approach in all of our training. We completed our 51st Academy. We graduated 19 new firefighters that are out in the field serving you today. I'm proud to tell you that we gave out almost 30 life-saving awards in 2015. These were for public and employees that went above and beyond the call of duty. People are alive today because of these efforts. Our training is not just for our personnel. We have a CERT program, Community Emergency Response Teams, that teach our constituents how to help themselves in the times of emergency. We have CPR classes that help increase our CPR save rates. In 2015, we had almost 30 CPR saves. This is above the national average, and we are very proud of it. This environment to work in is fantastic. We grow personnel, we have leaders, and we deliver fantastic service.
Ventura County Fire Department Support Services has to support a very diverse county. We're the biggest fire agency in Ventura County, and we have to be able to support any emergency that comes up through land, sea, or air. We have a helicopter program, we have ladder trucks and rescue engines, we have bulldozers, we have swiftwater rescue with jet skis, inflatable boat, and we have a harbor boat, and we also have a command vehicle, which is basically a mobile command center. So our total fleet is approximately 500 vehicles. We maintain a 90% service goal by starting with our preventative maintenance program, which allows us to keep things in service because we're being proactive. After that, we have field mechanics that go out and do service calls at the fire stations, and then we also can bring them in at this shop here for heavier repairs that are going to take a little bit more time. We have a team of in-house IT personnel. And this past year, the trend for us to support our 36 work sites was we needed a way to better communicate. We just recently have developed iPads, Skype cameras, so we could do real-time communications. iPad and cell phone applications save us money by saving time as far as the process. If we do some program out in the field, we've also implemented new dual band radios for Los Angeles City and Los Angeles County, so our bordering stations can communicate directly with them. We did a research and development on a new mobile radio to replace our current one, which are more efficient, have more channels, more scan capability. So the annex supplies all the station facilities and work site locations with everything from toilet paper to pens and papers, all the way to our fire hose and our fire protective personal equipment that the firefighters wear, and pretty much everything else in between. Fire service is always evolving and changing the technology and the equipment. It's getting lighter, safer. Our extrication tools got lighter. Fire hose is getting lighter and more durable. The nozzles are getting more intricate where they can have different patterns and produce better streams, which makes it safer for the firefighters. So in 2015, one of our biggest wins from a safety standpoint was replacing our outdated self-contained breathing apparatus. They have better face masks, they're lighter, they're more ergonomically correct for the firefighters. They have better warning devices on them. They have buddy breathing, so if somebody gets into trouble, you can plug into the other person's air line and give them some of your air off your bottle. So it just made it a more efficient and safer operation for all.
Fire Prevention Bureau consists of engineering and development, our fire safety compliance unit, fire hazard reduction program, and we have technology support unit. This past year, we provided iPads for our inspectors. Now they're able to do their inspections a lot quicker, a lot easier. We're also having our public website developed with our Citizen Access. Citizen Access is a streamlined online program where anybody who is doing business with fire prevention can log in and check their status of the plans, check the status of the permits. We have our fire prevention counter where we have our fire specialists at the counter capable of answering questions, issuing any over-the-counter permits. We wanted to get our fire safety inspection of hazardous occupancies up in a very robust program. And that includes the type of occupancies like multifamily dwellings and hotels and motels, on schools, on licensed care facilities. So we conducted over 1,000 inspections in cooperation with our engine companies. And that allowed us to provide tactical plan for some of these and be able to be more prepared in case of emergency how to respond to those. One of the programs that we are proud of in fire prevention is Fire Hazard Reduction Program. This is a nationally award-winning program. It's a program that provides a defensible space around structures. As we see the drought persist, we have seen how well this program has helped us. It has given the opportunity for our emergency responders to protect lives and properties. We have about 15,000 parcels that we inspect annually. We had our Fire Prevention Week. A number of our fire stations have open houses for public to visit. As part of that, we provided a home preparedness kit and evacuation plan. We believe education is a big component of public safety. One of the things we have expanded in 2015 is our car seat program. We have licensed inspectors. They're able to install car seats properly. In addition to that, we provide a variety of educational programs all the way from senior citizens to toddlers, to providing smoke alarm education, holiday safety programs. Our community education program transcends all age groups.
The Business Services Bureau compiles of fiscal, facilities maintenance, and capital projects, custodian of records. We develop two budgets, an operating budget and a one-time budget. We don't look at just our standard revenues, we also look outside to be fiscally responsible. For example, this last year we received 2 grants. One was for extrication tools, and we also received a grant for our self-contained breathing apparatus. Those 2 grants totaled $2 million. The grant that we received for extrication tools was in partnership with the City of Oxnard. When we partner with other fire departments, we're able to get more grants because we can show that it's not just supporting one fire department, but it supports the entire region. In 2015, we went to 55 incidents outside of the county for a total of over 83,000 hours of personnel time. But we were able to get reimbursed for that cost by about approximately $6.2 million. In 2015, the public heard a lot about drought. And so the fire district adopted the county's policy of brown is the new green. And so we reduce watering at all of our stations. We also have plans to install drought-tolerant landscaping at 5 of our facilities every single year until we get through all of our facilities. We've already installed low-flow water fixtures, and we've changed how we train with water in order to meet the community's expectations and just to be a good community partner. Every 10 years we do what's called a standards of cover study. What this study basically does is it looks at where our fire stations are located, it looks at where our equipment is located and where we deployed our firefighters. And it basically says, are they in the right place based upon our current calls, traffic studies, demographics. So those things are very important for us to make sure that we are, again, being fiscally responsible and meeting the needs of our community. In the past, we built fire stations to last 50 years. Now we try to build them to last 75 years. We're very proud of the fact that we've been able to get 3 fire stations started. The station you see behind me, Station 35, it's probably taken 10 years in planning and trying to find the right site for it. It's an 11,800 square foot facility, replacing a 3,500 square foot facility. The current fire station has a single engine with 3 firefighters. This station behind me will have the ability to expand to up to 9 firefighters. One thing that I'm very proud of my bureau is that we're able to plan ahead. We do these long-term forecasts. We establish sound fiscal processes so that we're able to plan for the future and meet the needs for the future. And because we project, in the 15 years I'm at the fire department, we've never had to borrow money to build these facilities because we plan very far ahead to build facilities like this, which will help us build a better prepared community.
2015 was a year of many successes, and I'm looking forward to many more in 2016.